In today's episode of In the Shop with TheMadSnap'r, we're gonna work on the Cougar again. The abandoned donated charity auction vehicle that I guess was not abandoned because I had to pay for it. Anyway, rust repair. For real this time. Here we go.
In the shop on a Sunday. Finally gonna do this little rust repair job since we got the top off. That's still pretty neat to me. I don't know. Since we got the top off, this is the main one I wanted to hit, but I found 3 more, maybe 4 in total that I'm going to repair. So I've laid out pretty much all the tools I'm going to need to complete the job, minus a couple little hand tools. We got our donated piece of metal, which came off of a hood on a Envoy Denali. We got our flapping disc. We got our whiz wheel, which this is the main one. I don't know why I brought that out, just because. And then we got our rust reformer that I'm using as a primer, and the white paint to make it all pretty. And once I grind the little welds back down, I'm gonna bond it up. Hoping to get all this done in one day. And I'm also hoping to do it within, I don't know, 2 hours. And naturally, this is what I've got that is going to help. So yes, it's a Harbor Freight welder, but I have compared this welder to some Lincolns and some Millermatics, like the Millermatic 211. This thing does just as good, if not better. I've been very, very happy with this, and it was half the price. Yep, got a couple of bottles because I do some aluminum stuff here and there, and my little cheap eBay plasma cutter, which I could use it, but I'm not going to. It might create a fire. I'm gonna basically cut this out with a whiz wheel, get a piece of cardboard, make a pattern, bring the pattern over to the donated piece of metal. I'm going to cut and pay attention to where my lines are on the piece of metal, that way I can get the closest fit possible. Butt weld it, tack it up, bzz, 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 bzz. Grind her down, fill her in. The magnet is to hold the piece of metal into place. See, we got a little curve there. This ought to be interesting. Either way, if I can figure out how to make this thing do a time lapse, I'll do it on time lapse. I'll be back at you in a moment. Okay, so I figured out how to do the time lapse on the GoPro. Later on, I realized I got all the sparks hitting my GoPro, which messed everything up. So right here, I'm, for the first time in many years, doing some rust repair, cutting out with the whiz wheel. Actually use the pattern itself instead of the cardboard to cut the new patches in, the patch panels. Little level there, again using the magnet. I should go get a couple of smaller magnets because that level sucked, and using the big one didn't work out too well neither. I could have got the fitment a little better, saved me a little bit of time in the Bondo section, but either way, it's an 86 Cougar, nobody's gonna care, and it works. So on to the next one. One whiz wheel job done. What is that? That spot. 3 inches by 2 inches. Now we gotta put it over here. I'm just gonna use this piece to make the template. Normally I do cardboard or manila folder. Cereal boxes are best. Don't have any cereal boxes. I'm just gonna sacrifice my folder, but since this was such a clean cut, I'm gonna use that. Here we go. All right, got it shaped close enough. I'm gonna tack here and here, and then I'm gonna try to bring this up just a hair. Let's see how it works. Unfortunately, this did not go so well. I didn't have the gas going right. I had these stick out way too far, and the wind was blowing, but I made it work. It just took longer. Got a train coming by. Anyway, I still got to do a couple of tighten ups, but that piece is mostly done. Now, let's do this one. This is where I messed up my brand new GoPro. Well, the lens is changeable. It's a Hero 9, so I got to figure out how to do that. But all these sparks melted my lens. Yay. Alright, so you get the gist of it. Here we go. One hole done. We'll sand it down, make it pretty, and paint it up later. I think the next one I'm going to do is going to be here. I'm not going to film that because it's the same process. But, yep. And then we got one more on the other side. Alright, here. I'm gonna do that. Anyway, my buddy Robbie stopped by and he's making noise, so I'm gonna stop videoing now. Finish this up. Oh, a little paint on that. And then while I was grinding, I wasn't paying attention. I don't know if you can see spots, but the brand new GoPro is full of little speckles. The grinding hitting the GoPro. That ought to be fun to deal with. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll do an outro on Snapchat filter here in a little bit. Have a good one. All right, there's another one. We'll get her cleaned up, filled in. Go ahead, ask me why that's out. And ask me why the inside of that window is wet. Yep, fire. Sure enough. That was fun. Anyway, there's patch number 2. Here's the Cougar with some white primer on it and one skim coat of the Bondo right there. Still got to do some body work there, and we did all the rivets down. You can still see the divots where the rivets were, but it's good enough for me to drive until I figure out what I want to do with it. Came out pretty good. Total probably, I don't know, those 3 cuts, sanding and body work, I probably have about 5 hours labor total on it. But it's worth it. One day, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Figure out what I want to do there. Put some sort of emblem, Thundercat symbols or something. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching. That's probably the last you're going to see on this. Have a good day.